Now, I don't actually like Guy Ritchie films all that much, especially recently. His older stuff are a lot better than the newer stuff, which I'm constantly finding disappointing, bad, or just fine, really. I do think I'm in the minority, though, of people that don't really like The Gentleman. I think it's fine, can be enjoyable, but it's nothing too special. And I know that a lot of people do love The Gentleman, so we'll leave that one out of that. That's a me problem. But he's just too inconsistent for me now. I like that he does do different stuff though. He does drift away from the gangster films a little more now and into other stuff like this action adventure film Fountain of Youth. But I do sometimes just miss his new films in general. I do look at the Letterboxd or Rotten Tomatoes score and I'm just actually not that bothered that I've missed one of his new films. I don't think I've liked any of his films since The Man from U.N.C.L.E. There's a few that I have missed, like I just said, but I think The Man from U.N.C.L.E. was the last film that I enjoyed, and I don't really think that was him. I think it was the Henry Cavill spy espionage bit, which I liked. I was completely unaware of this film before the summer. I was Googling what films were coming out in the summer season, and this one for May popped up. And I just saw the name Fountain of Youth, saw Apple TV, and thought, oh, okay, it's going to be a pretty small film. Maybe I'll check it out. And then I saw the director, and then I saw the names, and I thought, whoa, this film might be bigger than I thought it was. Except now that I think about it, having seen the film, maybe it wasn't. Maybe I was right, because Apple, in my opinion, have done a absolutely terrible job in marketing this film. I'd be surprised if many people were even aware this film existed. I think they're putting all their eggs in the F1 basket, which, I mean, yes, it will be a bigger film and arguably one of the biggest films in the summer season. But let's not forget about the other stuff you're producing, because it could really harm this film. Fountain of Youth follows Luke and Charlotte, estranged siblings who, along with the rest of their team, set off on an adventure to find the Fountain of Youth, using their knowledge and skills to unmask clues on where they can find it. Despite me being only aware of this film for like a couple of weeks, I was actually kind of interested in this one. Adventure is one of the genres I really like. It's often a wild card sort of genre for me. It's always consistently up there with stuff that I want to check out. The cast is really what sold me on this film though. John Krasinski and Natalie Portman are the leads. You've got Isa Gonzalez and Domhnall Gleeson who make up some of the supporting cast. And I think they're all fine. They're definitely underwritten though, and they're not used well enough. But I was still kind of able to enjoy their performances, which just says a lot about their acting talents for me. The film itself though is not great at all. I mean, it came across to me that they really struggled with ideas for this one, because it feels like every one of those hunt for treasure films out there. I've only ever seen another film about finding the Fountain of Youth, and that would be Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides. But this film made it feel like this has been done so many times, like specifically the Fountain of Youth. I mean, it probably has been done more times than I've seen. Like, there's definitely other films out there about finding the Fountain of Youth, not just Pirates of the Caribbean in this one. But I felt like it made me feel like there's so many films out there about this, when I really don't think there are. I mean, there's bound to be. I just feel like they didn't really add anything different in here. You've got your main team trying to get them. There's like another team who's like trying to get after the main one, but also they're trying to get there as well. You've got the police or the FBI or something along those lines. They're trying to get them as well. And there's a cheeky little twist which can be seen coming. That sounds like there's a lot going on, and there is. It is messy, and I really tried to grab that sense of adventure, and I got it a little bit, especially towards the end. It gets better towards the end of the film, but I just couldn't really connect much with it. And by this point, the adventure's nearly done, and I wanted that sense of adventure an hour ago, you know? On the good side though, I do think that some of this stuff looked visually pretty cool, especially moments at the end. I'm not going to say what it is, just in case anyone actually gives a fuck about spoilers for this film, but It did look pretty good, and the sets really looks nice and interesting as well. There's a lot of different locations they go to in the film, and the production design made it feel very, very different from each scene that came before it, which I liked. You know, you're asking for that sense of adventure. That definitely helps. It feels like they worked a lot harder on this stuff, the visuals, costume design, production design, than the actual direction and the script, which is a real shame because I think there's a lot of people out there like myself who wanted to like this one. And obviously you can appreciate the visuals, costume design, production design, and having good that is really, really good for the film. But when the like direction and the script isn't great, you really feel that. This is a rough week for a film to be released, not just on streaming like Fountain of Youth. I think Fear Street came out today as well on streaming, and The Phoenician Scene also came out in cinemas. Because of Lilo and Stitch and Mission Impossible coming out in cinemas, it's just hard to compete with those two. And this is probably why Apple decided to not give this one a little short theatrical run, because Apple do like to do this. I know they've done it with like some bigger films, for example, like you got your Killers of the Flower Moon with Martin Scorsese, did it with that. But they'd also do it for films like this. Argyle got one, but that came out on a very dead weekend, if I can remember correctly, like February last year. So I feel like they would have done it with Fountain of Youth. They just probably looked at the lineup for this week and was just like, no, not going to happen. Like, it's just not going to compete. Like, it won't do well with these two coming out. I mean, even without these two coming out, I don't even think it would have done that well. I do want people to enjoy this one, and I think some people can. It will be up some people's streets, but I wasn't able to, even though I wanted to. So I give Fountain of Youth 2 stars. If you have seen Fountain of Youth, let me know what you thought. Do you agree with me or not? Let me know. If you enjoyed the review, please like and subscribe. It would be much appreciated. And I'll see you in the next.